Mother. A story of unfailing love. In a small mountain village, there lived a boy named Luca. He lived with his father, a blacksmith, after his mother had passed away from illness. His father was a stern man, quiet and distant. Since losing his wife, he had buried himself in work, trying to numb the pain in his heart. Luca grew up in a home with no laughter, no warmth, and most of all, no motherly love. Often, he would escape to a little chapel on a hill near the village. Inside the chapel stood a wooden statue of the Virgin Mary. Her face was gentle, her arms open wide, as if inviting anyone who approached. Every time Luca looked up at her, he felt she was listening. He couldn't explain it, but in her gaze, there was something comforting, something motherly. One day, after being wrongly punished by his father for losing a hammer, Luca ran up the hill. He collapsed in front of the statue, tears pouring down his face. Through sobs he whispered, "I have no one. But if you're truly the mother of us all, please take me as your child." From that day forward, Luca came to see her every day. When he was happy, he spoke to her. When he was sad, he cried with her. Little by little, he felt a quiet strength grow in his heart, not through words but through presence. Just thinking of her gentle gaze brought him peace, even on the hardest days. Years passed, and Luca heard a calling deep in his soul. He decided to dedicate his life to God. He became a priest, living among the poor and caring for orphans, because he knew what it was like to be a child yearning for love. One evening, during a mass for the Feast of the Assumption, Father Luca gave a homily that touched many hearts. With a soft voice he shared, "I never had an earthly mother, but I've always had a heavenly one, Mary. She held me in spirit, led me through the darkness, and taught me how to love. If you ever feel abandoned, I invite you to look into her eyes. There you won't find judgment, only unconditional love." Reflection. The deeper meaning. Mary, the mother of Jesus, is not just a figure from ancient scripture. She is a living, present mother who walks with us, especially in our moments of sorrow, fear, and loneliness. She understands the pain of losing loved ones. She knows the silence of suffering. She has stood beneath the cross. And because she has felt all of this, she is closer to our hearts than we often realize. To the abandoned child, Mary is the gentle embrace that says, "You are still loved." To the single parent, she whispers, "You are not alone." To the lost, she is the guiding star. To the broken, she is the healing hand. And to all who seek comfort, she is the quiet presence that never leaves. You may not see her face. You may not hear her voice. But if you open your heart in faith, you will feel her love. Steady, tender, unwavering. Let us not forget, Mary is not a distant queen in heaven. She is a mother who kneels beside our beds at night. A mother who weeps when we weep, and rejoices when we find hope again. And when the world turns cold, when no one seems to understand, her gaze, soft and full of compassion, will remind us that we are never forgotten. So today, whatever you're going through, whisper to her, tell her your pain, and let her take your hand and lead you gently to her Son, Jesus, because that is what every good mother does.